Hi, it's Faceless Tech. I remember a while ago had a modded a 5th gen iPod. Got a big box of parts left over from that. I kind of used it and then I didn't use it because the Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth range wasn't very good because of the metal case. There was a few other things that it was a pain if I needed to get in there and work on it. It was a pain to do anything with. And then I thought, oh, do you know what? I need to make a custom case for this to basically make it workable for me because otherwise it's just going to sit in a drawer and not be used. So I took on the challenge of 3D printing a new case for the 5th gen iPod. So if you remember the original one, which was, I think it was the slim one I did as well, which didn't help the fact. But yeah, we had the metal back, so the Bluetooth range was really poor. So if you had it in your pocket, God, what the hell's that? It was like if you're in your pocket, but otherwise it was just really poor. So there's a few you think, oh, this would be easy. I thought, no, it'd be easy enough this. But I had a few sort of rules, sort of things I wanted to achieve with this case. I wanted it to be that all the pieces to be in one side or the other, because if you know with Tucker Pro's an iPod, you have the front frame which has the motherboard, screen and stuff, and then in the back you also have the switches for the headphone jack and for the thingy switch. So every time you'd have to open it like a book and it was a pain. So I wanted everything to be on one side or another. I wanted it to have a bit of extra space to add some extra mods and to also increase the range, which kind of come free with the 3D printed material. So I'm not going to open this up because I've already opened this up to have a look inside and it almost didn't get it booting again. So because the hard drive ribbon cable is really in a bad place. It has to be in the exact location, otherwise it won't boot. So I'm going to leave this for now. I'll give you a quick look round. So we've got the front here. The front screen is exposed. Yes, I know it can get cracked easy. They are expensive and very fragile, but I'm going to probably put a screen protector in there just to give that a bit of extra strength. You got the clicky click wheel just there exposed. You got on the top here, I've got like a switch. This was sort of part of the design. I had to make a new switch to go over the switch. You got the headphone jack still there, recessed, but still accessible with stuff. And then the bottom we've got the USB-C mod, which is the charging and data, and also I've got a switch there for the Bluetooth. So now I'll give you a tour. I'll have a look at some I've got millions and millions of parts just laying about. So here is basically the back shell. So we've got the back. Basically, an iPod has got like this frame. I'm not sure if it's magnesium. I know there used to be like Indian old ThinkPads and stuff like that, but it's got like a frame which comes in handy because the screen attaches into the frame, and then the motherboard also attaches to the back of the frame, so that kind of holds everything together. Also, it's got some cutouts for the headphone jack and for the on the lock switch there, so that kind of helped me out. I had to make this sort of piece here, which is like a mid subframe thing that hold the headphone jack and the lock switch. That kind of all slips into place, and then that flips over the top, and then you can sort of see it doesn't want to go together, but that sort of, you can see you've got this piece here, the switch, that kind of just goes over the top of that, and then that allows you to switch. Have like a nice chunky switch, which is nice. So that basically open the back, you've got all your guts there. You're gonna have your SSD here, because the SSD is smaller than the hard drive. If you look at the size of the hard drive, it's huge. So we got rid of that, put the SSD in. I think that just takes up the bottom sort of section there. You could have a massive battery, but I haven't got a massive battery. I've got a standard size battery. I think I've got one in here somewhere, which just slips in the top here. And then also in there I put a iPhone 7 Plus taptic engine that is also wired to, because a lot of people don't realize that inside an iPod there is a little tiny speaker, which is here. This is a little piezo speaker. So you basically desolder that and you solder it to a taptic engine, so that when you have the UI sounds, I'll try and show you on here, but I don't know if it will come up on video or not. You can hear that. Don't know if you can hear that on the video, but so whenever there's like a click sound, it has like a little taptic engine sound, which is nice. You can't really have one. You have to have one or the other. That's kind of the trade-off to it. But what else have I got in here? This one I think actually has because obviously when you're doing this kind of thing, it's always best to have a million different iPods to sort of play around. I think I went through like different screens and all kinds. But this is the actual USB-C mod that I made that takes out the 30-pin adapter and puts a USB-C data pin, and then it's also got a switch for the Bluetooth on and off as well, hidden in there as well, which is quite nice. It's a bit of a I've written a previous post which has some of the stuff in it, and then I've added the new mods. I've also added into this one because it takes forever to charge. Anyone that knows, try to charge an iPod, especially when you have the massive battery in it. You can just like an overnight job, basically leave it for overnight and it will charge. But I put in a TP4056 charge mod in there, so it'll charge a lot quicker. I know people will say that's the really poor chips you put in there, but you can actually program it so that I program mine to only charge at 40 milliamps, no, 400 milliamps. So it's not gonna. I think when you get them at stock, they're like 1,000. They're like a charge at an amp, which produces a lot of heat. But mine, it doesn't charge. It takes a while to charge, but not as long as the other one. And you can sort of control that with a resistor. So which is I like about it, because then you're not going to produce as much heat. As like I say, this case has got a lot more space in it. There's a lot more airflow. It's not everything tightly packed like this one is. If you look at it side by side, you can see it is a lot. It is a lot bigger, a lot thicker, but it's something that I'm actually using now. When I do it like this, I just never used it. So, as usual, I'll have all the design files. You'll be able to print this. The only thing that needs support is I've lost it, is this piece. This needs support on the back here. You can sort of see. Everything else is supportless, as most of my designs are. You can just slap it on, print it. Jobs are good. And also, if you do get them, like when you usually get these off eBay, second-hand ones, they're always trashed up anyway. So it saves you the cost of buying a shell. So you can basically get the guts, maybe a few different guts, put them all together, get one of these quite cheap. So yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching. Bye.